to back Trump in his quest for the presidency. Now, he says, he got it wrong.
What I was hoping to do by endorsing him early, recognizing that he had won in New Hampshire, he had won in South Carolina, and almost won in Iowa. He was the nominee. And I thought as a longtime friend, I could make him a better candidate and a better president. I was wrong.
He certainly changed his tune. Here was Chris Christie on the stump this week.
He is, for those of you who read the Harry Potter books, like Voldemort, who never admits a fault and who always finds someone else and something else to blame for whatever goes wrong. And there's this thing like, Christie doesn't really care about winning. All he cares about doing is destroying Trump. Now, let me ask you something. How are those two things mutually exclusive? I am going out there to take out Donald Trump, but here's why. I want to win.
He has a long road ahead of him, garnering just 1% of support among Republican voters at the beginning of a 2024 primary process in which Donald Trump is still the runaway leader. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Donald Trump says he's been indicted by a grand jury over his handling of classified documents. Ukrainian security services claim to have evidence that Russian forces destroyed the Kakhovka Dam. And the US and the UK have signed an economic partnership, but it falls short of a free trade deal. That's the latest feature story news. Julia Chapman reporting.
Don't forget, you can listen online too at kchw.org.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. You've got Scott Allen and Chuck Ritchie with you on a Friday. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, good. Kind of disappointed we're on low power today. So if you're heading out of the Chewelah area, we've got a power outage up at the tower, and we're running on low power from the studio. So as you increase your distance past maybe Loon Lake or Addy, you might have some reception problems. Don't forget, we've got lots of places that you can listen. Of course, on your smartphone, you can listen there. You can use if you got an iPhone, you can use TuneIn or Radio Deck. If you have a regular smartphone, you can just go right to our website at kchw.org on the homepage and the listen page. If you zoom in, you'll see a little tiny player there. It's only about a half-inch tall, and you can click on that, play straight through your phone without an app. All right, so there's a couple different ways that you can listen if you drive out of our signal while we are on low power. Other than that, this morning at 8 a.m., we got a special guest. Tell us about it, Chuck.
Yeah, we have Barney Brockwell with the Chewelah Valley Land Trust to discuss with us the new trail system opening up at the Golden Hills Community Forest up by the golf course.
All right, all right. Noticing a little on our low power system, a little static today, but we are broadcasting, so that's a good thing.
Right. And that's always a good, kind of like any flight you can walk away from is a good one, right?
That's right. Checking that weather forecast, see what's going to happen today. We're looking for a high of 71 with periods of rain. Winds will be light and variable. You got a 100% chance of rain, expecting near a quarter inch today with that high temperature at 71. Thunderstorms supposed to be wrapping up in a little bit, but tonight you can have more thunderstorms early on in the evening. Mainly cloudy with a few showers late night, 58 for an overnight low. Warm it up just a little bit tomorrow, mostly cloudy and 76 for a high. Better for Sunday. 82 and 56, partly cloudy skies, partly cloudy right now on Monday as well at 87 and 59. All right, moving along this morning. There's a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. I know Chuck had a couple, but I'll throw this one out. Farmers Market today from 11 until 3:30. And then a cornhole tournament tomorrow afternoon. Chuck was talking about, you were talking about this a couple days ago. That's the Lions Club, right?
Right. Yeah, that's right. It's the Lions Club. They're hosting it. The registration starts at 1 p.m. The tournament starts at 2 p.m. Teams of two people can enter, and it's I believe their third annual cornhole tournament. They're going to try to make it a yearly thing that hopefully will pick up steam as they go along.
All right. Some fundraising for the Lions Club. One way to get out and support them.
I know our very own Dr. Jazz is sort of one of the people spearheading this, and his wife.
Yes.
His wife and Dr. Jazz. How about that?
Him and Margie are big Lions.
Yes.
Big Lions.
Yes, my father and mother-in-law in Texas were big Lions. Right. They were really into it. They did a lot of good stuff.
All right. We also have a parking lot sale on Saturday at the Methodist Church, so a big yard sale between 9 and 3. I know we missed one. It wasn't on the list. Is Chihuahua Center for the Arts having a lighting class coming up on Saturday as well? Is that correct, Chuck?
That's correct. Yep. I don't have the information on that in front of me. The chamber calendar accidentally put a different event in there for later on that they're doing for kids. So I don't have that specific information in front of me, but I do believe it was at 1 p.m.
All right, and you could hit their website as well to get that taken care of. All right.
Then tonight at the Performing Arts Center too is the dessert soiree for Gino and Sharon.
All right, so a fundraiser, right?
That's free. It's at 6 p.m. There's going to be a silent and a live auction.
Okay, and that's taking place where?
That's at the Chihuahua Center for the Chihuahua Performing Arts Center.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Very cool.
Formerly known as PACA.
All right. I hope they get out and support Gino and Sharon with that. They've done so much for our community.
And I'll be there with an apron on.
All right. Anything else I might have missed that's coming our way this weekend? I know we're going to talk to Barney at 8 o'clock for the ribbon cutting ceremony for the new trail. But anything we've missed besides that on your end?
Oh, I'm sure, but nothing I can think of at the moment.
All right.
There were a few things that were not on the calendar, so but I don't have that in my stack of papers in front of me.
All right. Going to move into the Tasty program. We've been promoting this, and of course, this is a summer food for youth. Temporary added sustenance to youth is what they call it, the Tasty program. Now, you're going to be able to pick up you can pick up applications for this. There are 10 different locations that are part of this program, and as well, they're going to have a fundraiser at the brewery coming up on the 19th. Did you have a date scheduled that Susan Greep was going to join us to talk about the Tasty program?
Not yet, but I will message her after we're done here today.
Okay. All right. Some places that you can pick up those applications included the Chihuahua Senior Center. That'd be the food bank, I should say. Valley Schools, Valley Food Bank, Summit Valley School, Addie Food Bank, Guess Elementary School. Program funding comes from grants and their annual fundraiser at the Courtside Brewery that's coming up on the 19th. Tasty program partners also with the Chihuahua Farmers Market, providing vouchers for families, $5 per child for each pickup, so they can access fruits and vegetables that they like. Food boxes are picked up at the Chihuahua Senior Center every other Monday at lunchtime, and an additional pickup time takes place in the evening to accommodate family work schedules. And we'll get Susan in to talk more about that. If you would like to volunteer or want more information about the Tasty program, you can call Sherry at 509-936-5818, 936-5818 for the Tasty program.
You know, I've been doing a little spiel about that every day in the community announcements and looking a little more into it. And gosh, that is a great program. It really is.
Also, Chihuahua Faith Resource Group, this one coming up for next week as we tease things in the future. Having a summer community meal in the form of a barbecue and hamburgers with hot dogs, potato salad, and more. Taking place at St. Mary's Catholic Church, and they thank them for letting them use their kitchen. Thursday, June 15th. So next Thursday at 5 p.m., that free community dinner. Always fun to get out with your friends and enjoy that, right?
Right, that's right. I missed there's a parking lot sale. Speaking of events at the church.
You weren't listening to me. I hit that already.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
All right, we did miss one more for tonight though, as I skipped to the radio station calendar. Springdale Frontier Days Rodeo Association having their open rodeo this weekend. So we've got Saturday at 7 in the evening, and then Sunday at 2 in the afternoon at the Springdale Fairgrounds, Rodeo Grounds. If you want tickets, you want to buy them in advance online, FrontierDaysRodeos.com. FrontierDaysRodeos.com. rodeos.com. Or, of course, you can get those tickets at the gate, and that is this weekend. So tons of stuff, and the weather's going to be cool and comfortable, we'll call it. So tons of stuff you can get out and do this weekend. All right. Also, next week, Summer Stage Time School firing up on Monday between 9 and 2. Let's see if I can pull up some details on this. They used to just do a program with Chautauqua. This summer theater school, it's called You Don't Know Me, But I'm Famous. That's going on the 10th through the 15th for the kids of July, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Chihuahua Center for the Arts. $65 registration fee, and it says bring a sack lunch for those kids on that day. You want more information on Summer Stage Time School? I think they got it wrong in the calendar. As I just said, it is July 10th through the 15th. 509-995-7285 for more information. 995-7285. There you go.
And I would like to say yesterday I announced that I saw the 10th, and a month began with the letter J, and I read it as June 10th, and it was on the calendar for June 10th. So I went ahead and put that in the community announcements yesterday, but that is not until July.
All right. They've got it on the calendar for all next week, though.
Yeah, they do. I got a message from Sharon yesterday saying, nope, got that wrong, Chuck.
All right. There you go. I think that is it for events, unless I missed something else, Chuck, as we wander around the event calendars.
Right? Gosh, I hope not.
Some big stories in the news today. Of course, if you were listening as we got started to Free Speech Radio News, that former President Donald Trump indicted on 7 different counts of mishandling documents. The thing that is startling to me is that, because this has never happened in the history of our country, that we don't have anything in place that keeps a criminal from running for president.
Right. And say another day, another indictment.
So I guess because it's never happened before, they assumed it would be nothing that ever happened. But something needs to be rewritten there with our rules for a president, because I think they have to be a citizen for at least 14 years. And there's only like 3 criteria. A criminal, someone in prison, can run for and be president. What would that look like if he ended up winning because of this? I mean, the hope would be that the truth is out there, and there's enough of it that people would finally wake up and go, yeah, we can't support this person. We don't want someone that's in prison representing our country. The caveat to that is if a person was in prison, you could get them there is a different statute that talks about the president's ability to do his job. And you wouldn't be able to do that from prison. You couldn't go out and meet other foreign dignitaries and things like that. But it will be very, very tough if somehow his supporters just stick with it and don't realize this is just a long-running problem that's been egg on the face of our country, and that it needs to end. I don't know when people will get to that point.
It's an embarrassment. It really is.
It is an embarrassment. I read something one time, and it hasn't been working, because you see media doing that all the time, trying to point the finger at the former president and say, enough is enough. But there is like a psychological theory I read in a book one time, that the only way to get people to change their minds of a certain mindset is to embarrass them or humiliate them publicly. And hasn't this been humiliating enough?
Right. I can't even wrap my head around it. I mean, and again, I know I have lots of friends that are Republicans. People I love dearly are conservatives and Republicans, but why Trump?
There's enough out there now. Pick a new one. I've been really enjoying, and I like to consider myself in the middle, but I am going to call out things that are wrong. I've been enjoying what Chris Christie has to say. I think when you look at the field of Republican candidates right now, he seems like he's the most sensible. And that's scary too. And you might not agree with that. And of course, he has some history being involved with Trump, and he's going to need to explain that away or make people forget about that one time you were supporting this person and now you're running against them. It looks kind of funny, but I have been enjoying what he has to say. And I would say out of a lot of politicians I've heard talk lately, he really, especially about ones that want to run for president, he seems sensible.
I will say he is the most sensible Republican right now.
And that's a lot coming from Chuck. All right.
But
that is somebody who could actually steal my vote.
Yeah.
Take my vote, get my vote. So we'll see what happens. We got a long time to go on this and a lot more court battles for Trump. Let's see. Along with that, Marjorie Taylor Greene may have put herself in the same boat because she was in a meeting, a classified meeting, that you are not allowed to, when you're in one of these classified meetings, when you're part of one of the what do they call them? They're not groups, but when a group of senators are part of fact-finding missions and stuff like that. The name's escaping me. But when they're in one of these meetings, they're not allowed to take cell phones in to record data. It's all supposed to be secret. And she came out of one of those yesterday, and the headline this morning said, "Did she just break the law too?" She was talking about how she took notes, and you're not supposed to. And then she said when she came out of the meeting, she scribbled down everything she had read from these classified documents.
What?
And is sharing them online. So she could very well, which is a good thing, be putting herself in danger too. You can tell by the stuff that comes out of her mouth, she's not that savvy or smart for where she is. Another headline from a lot of stuff on Trump this morning, a quote from a recording now that they have. It says, Trump himself saying, "I can't declassify sensitive documents I took." You know, it's nice when people that are doing things that are wrong eventually bury themselves. The word I was looking for Marjorie was she's on a committee reviewing sensitive documents that are classified. Right. And should not be talking about those documents, but she was. So maybe more Trump trouble in the future for her as well.
Well, why would anyone let her near classified documents?
Seems like a bad idea.
You know, I'll have to say there's been a lot of talk about declassifying documents, and I could be wrong here, but it's my understanding, my opinion that, or my understanding that the president alone doesn't have the power to just, the way Trump thought, write a D on a document and boom, it's declassified. There's a process behind that. I mean, even if he were still president, the president can't just declare this is unclassified and go. There's a process. There's a a hearing and a selection process behind declassifying documents, if I understand correctly.
I don't know, Chuck. I went around my house and I put a D on everything that looked important. Which is funny. I got that from school because everything I got from school had D's on it too.
I will have to say though that I think after Trump's term in office, we can conclusively say that Area 51 is a hoax, that nothing actually happened there, because if it was, we would know.
Think so?
Yeah,
okay.
that was the thing I was looking forward to in his presidency was that we might actually find the truth about the aliens in Area 51 and all that, but apparently not.
It was a pregnancy, and he gave birth to chaos. Just saying. All right, moving on to the political arena today. Scientists trying to find a mystery person in Ohio. I'd hate to be this guy. This is the worst. This mystery person in Ohio has a new kind of COVID, and he's been shedding it like crazy into the sewage system.
What?
True story.
At least it's somewhere where not a lot of people are hanging out.
Early this year, Mark Johnson, professor of molecular microbiology and immunology at the University of Missouri School of Medicine, took to social media with an appeal. Help me solve a COVID cryptic lineage mystery. Johnson told Insider that he was looking through a database of COVID samples when he came across a brand new version or lineage of the virus. He says they were massive amounts of the unique strain, and when they tested the DNA, it's all coming from a single mystery person in Ohio. Viral material has been primarily found at two sites, city of Columbus and 40 miles away in the city of Washington courthouse. Johnson gets that that person might live in the one city and work in the other. So chances are, if he reads this story, he knows who he is. All right. He noted that this isn't an imminent public health threat. This person likely has a form of long COVID that is not contagious. But they say finding these lineages and identifying people who spread them could unlock new clues into how COVID mutates. And then remember, earlier at the beginning of the week, I think it was the end of last week, a diplomat from China came out and said, yeah, we probably did release that virus from the laboratory in Wuhan. So there you know. Still inconclusive. Another one, horrible. Tourists in Egypt watched a Russian man swimming get entirely devoured by a shark. It's something you don't hear about very often. I only like the movie Jaws. They actually went out and caught this shark, and the hotel where it happened, of course, has closed the beach so nobody can go swimming. They saw a whole bunch of sharks coming in, and they said the victim was a 23-year-old from Russia. He had been living in Egypt for several months, and his family was on the beach. Very, very sad. But you don't hear of shark attacks to that magnitude. Usually they get somebody by the arm, something like that. But wow.
They closed the beach? What about the economy?
That was our joke from yesterday's show. All right, here you go. Worst blind date ever. I saw this one this morning. I had to save it. Man is getting sued after leaving his blind date and her 23 relatives at a restaurant and stuck with the bill.
Wow.
Man in China ended up in a legal battle after walking out of a blind date who expected him to pay for her and the 23 relatives she brought with for the blind date. It sounds like some kind of scam plan for this guy.
Yeah.
The man, identified in local reports as simply as Mr. Liu, found his prospective partner, Miss Zhang, through a matchmaker and arranged to meet her at a popular restaurant. To Liu's surprise, she arrived at the restaurant accompanied by 23 relatives who joined them on their date. It was a very expensive date. Restaurant staff later informed Liu that the woman's family ordered a significant amount of expensive cigarettes and premium alcoholic beverages. When Liu was handed the bill, nearly 20,000 won, which is about $2,800 U.S., he decided to promptly leave the restaurant and have Zhang and her relatives settle the cost. While Zhang did settle the bill, she still demanded that Liu contribute at least half the amount. Liu agreed only to reimburse a fraction of the cost, offering $4,000, approximately $562, forcing Zhang and her relatives to pay for the rest of the share of the total bill. Angered by Liu's offer, Zhang's family decided to take the matter into court, all 23 of them filing a lawsuit against Liu to force him to pay up.
What?
Yes.
I would think the second that she shows up with 23 of her family members, that's the time you walk out of the date, right?
Yeah, why
there.
would you sit there, right?
Right. Wow, weird. Different culture, maybe. I don't know.
Luckily for Liu, the court, however, ruled in his favor, stating that he should only cover the cost of his and her meals, which was approximately $197. Incident has gathered attention on Chinese social media and prompted discussions regarding the boundaries of social etiquette during blind dates, with, of course, many people taking Liu's side. All right.
Yeah. Wow. I can see maybe like a friend or a chaperone or something just in case, but yeah, that's excessive.
Another one blowing up online is the lady that climbed Mount Everest, made it to the top, coming back down. She got into distress and collapsed. A couple other climbers were coming up the hill with what they call a Sherpa, which is a guide that will guide you up to the top of Mount Everest. They're used to the light air, and they carry a lot of the gear for people that are climbing up and stuff since they're used to it. The two gentlemen that were coming up that found the lady and the Sherpa guide decided after, what did he say, 40 days of training to forgo going to the summit to save this lady. Sherpa guide didn't want to. He didn't want to save her. So the guide fee is $10,000, between $8,000 and $10,000. These two climbers offered the guide $10,000 to save the woman, and he said, okay. The woman did not give a thank you and has refused to repay the gentleman or thank them, like I said, for the $10,000 they spent to have her saved. And people are attacking her like crazy over the past few days. The two men who saved her came out and said, "Stop bullying people online. She did what she did. We hope she has a nice life."
Wow.
Commendable for them. They gave, and neither one of them had climbed Everest before. It was their dream, and they gave it up to save her. That's But what would you do when you see somebody on the side of the trail? So
Right, you can't just leave them.
Exactly.
I mean, I can see from their point of view of not caring. I mean, they didn't do it for the thank you. They didn't do it for any kind of they knew they were going to be out for the cost. So, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, it's kind of sad they had to bribe the guide though to help her.
You know those Sherpas, they probably see all kinds of crazy white people up there on that mountain.
I bet. All right.
And they probably don't care.
Well, we got some extra time before our guest joins us at 8 o'clock. Barney Brockwell telling about the unveiling of the new trail system. That coming up at 8 o'clock. Let's roll on to news and nuggets for some stories on the lighter side. First one up is dogs are still more popular than cats, Chuck. I can't believe it.
According to the most recent study on the dog and cat populations in the U.S., dogs are still our favorite pet by a long shot. Around 65 million households in the U.S. own dogs, while 46.5 million households own cats. So what is that, about 9 million more?
Yeah.
See, you outnumbered, Scott. Globally, the United States tops the list in terms of numbers for both dogs and cats. Brazil comes in second with the number of dogs, with approximately 35 million domestic dogs. China, despite having 5 times the population of the United States, has approximately 53 million pet cats, making it the second in the world for cat ownership.
Wow. I've got some camping cabins to B&B, and I was really thinking about not having dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't, what kind of rules I could put in place. And then I briefly thought about maybe I'll just allow cats only.
Yeah.
But then I thought, how many people travel with their cats? Probably not a good idea.
Be a cat B&B.
Chuck, how old are you?
I'm 44 years young, Scott.
So last year you became fully mature. I bet you didn't know that.
Wow. What happens at 43? And I know 2 years ago I was the answer.
Won't come as a surprise to most females that men mature later than women, and research pinpointed the exact age that a man is completely mature, 43, which prompts me to say, guess again.
Yeah.
Obviously, they just picked a random number. It's a whole 11 years after women fully mature, but at least men know they can take more time to grow up. In the same study, men were nearly twice as likely to describe themselves as immature than women were, with 1 in 4 men believing they're actively immature. Especially on this show. Women were also twice as likely as men to feel that they were the grown-up one in their current relationship. A quarter of women felt that they were the ones that made all the important decisions in a relationship, with the same percentage wishing their partner would talk about themselves and what they're feeling more often. Women, just get over that dream. I hope Marion's not listening. Women also found men's biggest maturity failings were still finding breaking wind funny. Wait a minute. It's not?
What? When did this happen?
It's not, really?
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Yeah. Let's see. Breaking wind, still funny. Driving too fast. Playing video games and not dressing for our age. That's the big female complaints. Breaking wind, driving too fast, playing video games, and not dressing for their age. Wow.
Now those things, what are we?
That's right. They're trying to steal our identities.
Why are we even here?
All right. Little graduation story.
Xavier Jones needed to get his high school graduation, which was needed to get to his high school graduation, which was being held on campus of Harris Stowe State University in St. Louis. Except Xavier had no way to get there, so he walked the 6 miles. When Harris Stowe's president heard what Xavier did to get to his high school graduation, she decided to give him a free ride, not back to his house, but to college, a full scholarship covering 4 years of tuition, books, and fees.
Nice.
That was worth a 6 mile walk right there.
All right. Here's another one. Canadian Arthur Ross admits he may be the slowest student in the world. He broke the Guinness World Record for taking the longest time to graduate from college. Ross started at the University of British Columbia in 1969 and left for a legal career, even though he needed 5 more classes to graduate. After retiring from litigation, he returned to school in 2017. He graduated this year, 54 years after he started. That's amazing that his credits even washed over.
Right? Better late than never.
Better
right?
late than never. Wow. All right. Speaking of things that wash.
Right. Earlier this week, I shared the story of almost half of you don't use soap when you're washing your hands. You're a bunch of sickos. You know.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand.
Seriously, though, wash your hands with soap, and I was reminded of the study out of Michigan State University, which discovered that many people didn't wash their hands long enough for at least 15 to 20 seconds.
Wow. I don't have that kind of time, Chuck.
What do they say? 2 verses of row your boat?
Yeah.
That's hard to say. Row your boat.
Yep. All right, trail runners in New Superior, Colorado are having a hard time avoiding aggressive cattle. Runner was attacked by a small herd on Tuesday morning, which made him run even faster. Temporarily closed the trailhead as well. Another person called 911 after seeing the runner trying to protect herself on the ground while surrounded by 15 to 20 angry cows. Most seemed to be mothers with their calves. Rangers responded within 15 minutes, and the runner was taken to the hospital.
Wow. Yeah. What's going on with animals right now? Have you heard about the orca whale attacks going on?
Yes.
Where is it? Off of Africa or somewhere? I don't remember. But yeah, it's crazy. They're just like large numbers of different areas of killer whales are just suddenly out of all this time attacking humans and attacking boats.
I was reading that story, and they were talking about how intelligent they are, and the scientists guessing that one orca started it and taught another one, who has taught another one and another one and another one, and now it's a thing, and they don't know if they're doing it out of anger or fun, like the dolphins that swim along with the boats and jump over the bow of the boat and that type of stuff. So they're not sure if it's a game or it's angry, but if you look at all the stuff our planet is doing, the planet's obviously angry, and maybe the animals are too.
I was going to say they can't be too smart if it's taking them this long to start attacking the humans. So a study found that a simple email can significantly raise your stress level. Researchers watched 30 government employees as they worked and measured their stress levels throughout the day. When emails started coming in, 83% reported quicker pulse and higher blood pressure. So here's some tips for reducing email stress. You can set boundaries, designate specific times during the day for checking and responding to emails, and stick to it. This can help prevent the continuous interruption and distraction of incoming emails. Okay, that's fair. Turn off your notifications. Constant alerts can increase your stress level. Try turning off your notifications and only check emails during the designated times. How many times have you gotten that email notification and your heart was like, oh, you know?
Yes. Usually when they're from you, though.
Right. I know, right? And especially when it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Turn off those. Oh, I already said that. Use your tools. Utilize email features like filters, folders, or labels to organize your inbox. Most email clients also have a priority inbox feature, which can help prioritize more important emails. Nice. Use a separate work email. If you're able to keep separate email accounts for work and personal matters, this can help you compartmentalize and manage your emails more effectively. You can practice clear communication. Be clear and concise in your emails to avoid unnecessary back and forth. Also, if an email thread becomes too long and complex, consider switching to a phone call or face-to-face conversation.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Or what I always like to say, can we just do this in an email? Anyway, that's the opposite, though. Unsubscribe ruthlessly. Over time, we may accumulate numerous subscriptions that we no longer need or want. Regularly purging your email of these can greatly reduce the number of unnecessary emails you receive. Out-of-office replies. Use this feature when you're on vacation or during non-work hours to set expectations for when you will be responding.
There you go. Kind of give yourself some slack that way. I had a job once. It was miserable back in 2008. 3 hours a day of email. 3 hours of day.
That's never
every
necessary.
Day. That is never. That's corporate. What would you call that? Overlording gone crazy.
Right. Corporate spam.
All right. Golf cart injuries on the rise. Golf carts just aren't for golfers. If you live in Chihuahua, you can use them as a car, run around town. These miniature open-air vehicles are now used for getting up and down a neighborhood street or making a quick run to the corner grocery. And because most don't have safety belts and airbags, people are getting injured. Each year, more than 6,500 kids or teens injured in golf cart accidents. Estimated 16,000 people of all ages receive emergency room treatment for golf cart-related injuries each year. Of all annual golf cart accidents, more than 48% result in hospitalization. That's really high. I was visiting Mustang Island in Texas, right off of Corpus Christi. And in the town there, and it's a pretty good-sized town, lots of traffic, golf carts are legal to drive on the roadways. Now, this is like a town that's probably 4 times the size of Chihuahua. And it was, I'm sitting on a 4-lane road at a stoplight with a giant Dodge behind me, and I'm in a golf cart. It was very, and the kids were in the golf cart too, very intimidating. Didn't like that at all.
No. But yet at the same time, the YouTube videos of golf cart accidents are hilarious.
Chuck.
As long as nobody gets hurt.
All right, let's wrap this up. We see in our green room Mr. Barney Brockwell. When we come back from break, we're going to play some news, thank our sponsors. We come back, we'll have Barney, and we're going to find out about the big ribbon cutting tomorrow. Stay right here. It is Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for June the 7th, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford. Advocates for campaign finance reform in the state of Maine are applauding efforts to expand the landmark Clean Election Act there to candidates who are seeking county-level public office. But the efforts to repeal a ban on corporate contributions, they say, will only take the state backwards.
The landmark 1996 law was the first in the nation.
Can you hear me, Barney?
I got you. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. All right. I left Chuck's in the studio. He's on the other side. I just making sure that we can hear each other. And then I'm going to go back to letting news come down the line. And after we thank our sponsors, we'll be back to talk to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Accused him of orchestrating recent charter flights that carried groups of migrants from Texas to Sacramento. Governor Ron DeSantis did not address whether his state was responsible for the transport. That from the New York Times. They report at what his office has billed as a news conference in Wildwood, Florida. DeSantis signed a bill Tuesday morning. He said will give consumers more control over their online presence. DeSantis walked off the stage without taking questions from reporters. From the Times, the exit quotes are, "All right, guys, we'll be back soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye." Meantime, the events in Ukraine have captured a lot of headlines, not only for military action. People around the world have noticed how the conflict is affecting their lives in various ways.
This spring, the Biden administration laid out specific strategies under the Global Fragility Act approved in 2019 with bipartisan support. It focuses on preventing some of the underlying drivers of conflict like genocide or ethnic violence. Felicity Gray of the group Nonviolent Peace Force says people are well informed about the direct impacts of the war in Ukraine, but other conflicts have their reach too.
Whether it's on the security front or whether it's how much you're paying to fill up your car. So by being really proactive about stabilization and conflict prevention, we can hopefully save a lot of money and a lot of heartache for communities around the world as well.
Foreign policy experts say this should allow the U.S. to be less reactive with fewer costly military interventions. I'm Mike Moen.
In the U.S., an eventual measuring stick might involve less panic over factors like inflation as it relates to foreign policy. This is Public News Service. Now to the natural state, where a group there focuses on the 50-plus population, helping meet the needs of Arkansas veterans by providing free resources, services, and programs. through their Veteran and Military Families Initiative.
There are about 200,000 veterans in Arkansas 18 or older. Troy J. Broussard with AARP Veterans and Military Families Initiatives says AARP has nearly 38 million members nationwide and 6 million are military veterans with families. The group focuses on 4 key areas:
family caregiving, accessing earned military service benefits, fighting fraud through Operation Protect Veterans, and finding meaningful employment and recareering through our AARP Veteran and Military Spouses Job Center.
And amid recent reports of high stress and loneliness among college students, a Nebraska community college has a program focused on community building and connection. More on that from Deborah Van Fleet.
At Northeast Community College in Norfolk, the federally funded TRIO College Success Program enrolls about 200 of the roughly 6,500 students seeking a degree. Program Director Joshua Becker says TRIO sets itself above others with community building, intensive advising, and personal success coaching. This requires TRIO students to meet with an advisor a minimum of 3 times a semester, which Becker says allows them to catch problems early.
We're lucky that we are able to check grades constantly with them to see, so we are able to intervene before the struggle is so much that it's insurmountable.
To be eligible, students must meet one of these criteria. Neither parent has a 4-year degree, their family meets federal low-income guidelines, or they have a documented learning, physical, or emotional disability.
Finally, Mark Moran lets us know the Bureau of Land Management has announced a $161 million investment in wildlife habitat projects in 11 western states, and Montana is getting the largest share of all.
Montana is set to receive close to $27 million for wildlife habitat, clean water, and restoration projects on public land. The BLM has set aside just over $9 million for the Upper Salmon River, $9.5 million for the Blackfoot Clark Fork, and almost $7 million for the Highline Sagebrush Anchor. They're all areas in need of critical habitat restoration, says Joel Webster with the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership.
This $27 million is going to protect communities from wildfire. It's going to improve rangeland conditions, not only for wildlife, but also for local grazers and livestock producers. It's going to help put people to work. It's a win-win.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here are some radio stations, big and small, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Valley, Deer Park.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah.
It's 8:05.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheweLaFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheweLaFlooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chewelah, 102.7 FM.
You're listening to KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio.
And we're back. Thanks for being with us this morning. It is KCHW 102.7. Sorry for the redundant promos.
And I missed that outro song, too.
It's all right. And we got Chuck Ritchie with us in the studio. I'm off in Maine, and here comes Barney Brockwell. Welcome back to the KCHW airwaves, Barney.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
So Barney, tell us who you're with this time. You've been on the show before, I believe, talking about trail systems. But tell us who you're representing and why you wanted some airtime today.
So I'm with the Chewelah Valley Land Trust, based in Chewelah, and we've got a little event coming up tomorrow morning at the Gold Hill Community Forest. So just immediately north of the golf course. We are doing our official ribbon cutting for the trail system that we're have built and continue to build there at the Gold Hill location. So we're going to be there from 9 until 11 tomorrow with little refreshments and munchies, and we will be doing guided hikes and mountain bike tours.
Wow. I imagine you've put together quite a staff of volunteers to pull this off tomorrow morning.
We've got a great group of folks that are going to be there helping out. We've got a very active board of directors and amazing volunteer crew that has just put in hours and hours of serious manual labor building these trails. We've all got some sweat and a little blood on those trails out there, but it's just a great resource for the community and for the region.
All right. Give us a little history of how this trail system came to be.
So we've got a little over 400 acres there at Gold Hill, and through some hard work and a lot of paperwork, some big grants came through a few years ago, and this parcel was purchased by the land trust from one of the big logging companies. And this land, people have been hiking on the old logging roads and walking dogs and riding their mountain bikes and that sort of thing for years. But we were able to put it together and purchase it for the public good. And last year was the first year where we really were able to dig in literally and figuratively to get some good trails out there for biking and hiking, and get people off, where they could get off just these old logging roads, what it amounted to that, were built for log trucks and not that scenic, not that much fun. We work with nonprofit group Evergreen. They've helped us with design of the trails. They've done a ton of training with us on the particulars of how to build a trail. Is it flat? No, it's canted a little bit so the water runs off. We've done a lot of mitigation work to protect from erosion, that sort of thing. We've got on the board, we've got biologists, we've got a hydrologist, some really knowledgeable, passionate people about this project. And so in addition to being a great resource to go get some exercise and be in nature, we're really committed to making sure that this is sustainable and going to be here for generations of folks to enjoy.
So I'm guessing this trail hasn't just come together this spring, that maybe you started on it last year?
No, we started, actually, I know it got started several years ago. Last year was the first year that we really got organized. We were able to get volunteer work groups together. These trails have been in use for a lot of last summer. We did about 2 weeks ago complete the first, it's called a flow trail for mountain biking. You've probably seen videos on YouTube with the big berms and banks. And so it's just for mountain biking, there's not much pedaling going on. It's just kind of gravity and you can roll with it. This old guy right here, it's probably a little more than I'm up for, but the folks with the full suspension bikes, it's a great thing. We had 3 volunteers. We got some grant money to rent a mini excavator, and we had 3 fellows that they were up there for 3 days. We rented the excavator for 2 weeks. They got it knocked out in 3 days. They just worked in shifts tirelessly. So we're up there refining it and doing all the handwork, but that's the latest trail. And we may have some excuse me, some folks arrive to the ribbon cutting around 9:15 via that trail for the first descent. So we'll see how that goes out. We'll see what this rain did.
I've been riding my bike to work, but it's about a half a mile on flat pavement. That's my speed.
Little bit different, Chuck. A little bit different. There's definitely some up and down. The first trail that we really did, that we focused on and that was critical for us, is the easiest way up. And so it's got an average of about a 2% grade. And it's just beautiful winding trail through the trees. We've got a couple loops up at the top of the property that are just kind of ups and downs and nothing too extreme. And then we also are working on kind of an introductory loop at the bottom near the parking lot that should be doable this summer.
Now, are these shared trails between people and bikes and then no motorized vehicles? How's that work?
That's correct. Excuse me. The flow trail is actually downhill only for mountain bikes only, because it just wouldn't be safe to have hikers. People are going to be cooking on the mountain bike. The other trails, though, are multi-use. They're shared, no motorized vehicles, so you don't have to worry about people on their dirt bikes or their side-by-sides.
Or their golf carts.
Or golf carts. No golf carts. As someone that's familiar with golf carts, I would not recommend taking golf carts up there. Not a golf cart friendly environment.
Right.
So yeah.
You sounded one of the comments you made alluded to that there'll be even more trails coming in this area.
Yes, we've got a master trail plan, and we're just eating this elephant one bite at a time. We've got a couple connector trails that we're going to be working on more this summer, but we will end up with several great loops and options for hikers and mountain bikers of all skill levels and interests and that sort of thing.
Have you guys been able to get signage up where the entrance is?
We've got a sign there. We've got some temporary signage that we'll have up tomorrow morning to get everybody there. Basically, you're going to go up Sand Canyon and the first left past the golf course road. You'll take that and just stay to the right as the road forks. And it's about I don't even know that it's a quarter of a mile off Sand Canyon, but there will be signage. The parking is it's sufficient for most days for usage. We'd love to see it full to overflowing tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I think the weather's going to cooperate with us, but And yeah, we're working on. We've got some basic trail signage up there. That is another thing that's high on our list. We've got some materials ordered and that sort of thing that will make that even more clear when you're out enjoying the trails.
I think you'll do okay tomorrow. You're going to have like a perfect, it might not be the sunshine you'd like, but you are going to have a perfect daytime high of like 76. So I'd expect it to be in the mid to upper 60s tomorrow morning. And there is a possibility, it says, of a stray shower or thunderstorm at 24%, but that should not be enough to scare people away. And I'm someone, I love to hike in the rain. That's perfect to me.
A little light drizzle, or even on a bike, just a little drizzle coming down is actually kind of nice and refreshing. So Barney, the other day we had Larry Feder on here, and he was discussing potential future trail systems being done through the city. Is that, have you been working with them? Is that going to be connected to this in any way?
You cut out on me a little bit there.
I was asking the trail systems that we were speaking with Larry Feder about, the future trail systems going from the golf course down into the city. Is that in any way, have you been in communication with them about continuing that on? Is that going to be a continued project to this or connected?
I don't know that we're going to have trails that link directly, just because there's a lot of privately owned property between the Gold Hill site and where they're doing their trails. Okay. But absolutely, we'd love to work with them and be in communication and coordinate, because we a couple weeks ago there was a couple that found us on Facebook and brought their mountain bikes up, and they were thrilled. This is they're like, oh, this is our favorite spot. We're going to be coming back. This is not only a great resource for our community, but it is going to help draw people to Chewelah.
Right.
And I just foresee that Gold Hill can be a real prize for the community in many, many ways. We're looking to possibly acquire another parcel adjacent to it. There are ongoing conversations that are very preliminary.
Hey, I'm going to pick you guys up. We're actually in the middle of an emergency alert right now, so we're off.
Oh, no. Thank you for letting us know, Chuck.
Do you want me to let you guys know when we're back on here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's just dead air.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, because our video, our feeds are going to keep going. I'm curious as to if I was to go up there and I wanted to hike a trail, about how long from start to finish?
How fast do you hike?
Let's just say I'm an average old man.
Well, you and me both. You're probably looking at a roughly an hour hike.
Okay.
So from the parking area up to the top and back down, could do that loop. I think even as an average old guy like you and me, Scott, in an hour or so.
Okay.
Now, once you get to the top, there are more loops and trails up there, so you can extend it, as long as you want to wander around out there. There are trails and those old logging roads I mentioned available and accessible.
So how about for people on bikes, mountain bikes? What would you think an average trail ride for that would be?
You're probably looking at a 30 to 45 minute, again, depending on the condition of the rider, and that's just from the bottom to the top and back. Again, it's got some loops up there that you can extend it and wander around. So, a great way to get your heart rate up and get some blood flowing into the legs and air in the lungs, and we don't have any illusions that we're going to be hosting any World Cup downhill mountain bike races or anything like that. But it's a great spot for the family to go out with mom, dad, the kids, or any combination thereof, and get out, spend some time together in nature.
One of the things to this that seems appealing to me is, I know once we get into the hotter parts of the summer, if you drive up to that area of town, up to the golf course area, it's generally about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than it is down in the valley.
Exactly, and lots of shady spots. So yeah, it can break that heat up. It's just, you get some fantastic views. We had someone donate a beautiful, like a park bench that has been installed at the top, and you can sit there and have this just absolutely stunning view of Chewelah looking down the valley. So yeah, there's something for everybody.
All right. Let's see. How long has your group, the Gold Hill Trail Association? Is that what you're calling yourself? So I get it correct.
It's the Chewelah Valley Land Trust.
Okay.
Is the organization, and the Gold Hill is the piece of property, is our first piece of property that we own, and are doing all this trail work on.
A little bit of curiosity here. How long did it take the Chewelah Land Trust Association there to from the time you guys started on this project to your grand opening here?
So the land trust formed, pre-COVID, that's for sure. I want to say it was early 2019. It may have been late 2018. With the purpose of, forming this trust, and the intent from the beginning was to acquire this parcel as the first piece of property, and formed then had to go through grant writing process, and that process took a good 2 years to go through, figure out all the ins and outs of what grants we wanted to pursue, and then get those written and submitted. And I think it was fall of 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have been at this for a while. It's got to feel pretty good to have your grand opening tomorrow, I bet.
Yeah, it really is, and like I said, we've been soft open the whole time. People have continued to use it, but it just dawned on us as a board that we really needed to celebrate with the community what we've accomplished to this date. And the pandemic was as we all know, such a chaotic factor in everything. And so this stuff was, a lot of it was how people kind of maintain their sanity, was to go out there and work on trails and be out in nature. And so I think there were some people that were glad we hadn't done a grand opening, because it was kind of their own private little nature escape, and could go for hikes and walk the dog and all that good stuff. But it's time. We do need to celebrate this, and so tomorrow's the day.
All right. So that's a good point too. Pets are allowed on the trails.
Absolutely.
Right.
Dogs and cats, correct?
We assume no liability, but yes.
All right.
So are there any other projects or trail systems or anything else that the Chewelah Valley Land Trust has in store, or something else you can share that is coming up?
Not at this point. Like I said, there's some preliminary conversations going on about adjacent land, but that is early in the going. So I'm not holding my breath. It's not to say there's just no timeline whatsoever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we've got our eyes open. If there's someone that's got a beautiful piece of land near Chihuahua that they're interested in talking to us, by all means, you can find us online, the Chihuahua Valley Land Trust, either on Facebook is probably the best way to go, and shoot us an email. We've got a group of 3 folks, committee that they're all about acquisitions and grants and finding that stuff. And Ben is leading the charge there, so nice. We can get you connected.
All right, so we should tomorrow. I think yesterday we accidentally said 10, but you said it starts at 9 tomorrow, and
Correct.
that you have people available that will take people up the trails. Is there a certain time that you're gonna, after you cut the ribbon and everybody has their snacks, that you're gonna be taken off up the hill that people don't want to miss or anything like that you want to share?
We're probably going to be leaving the parking lot every half hour or so, or as demand dictates. And we're going to have some branded T-shirts and hats, and going to be looking for folks to purchase memberships to the land trust. All of this has been done through donations and volunteer hours and grant money. We are truly a grassroots organization, and our roots are firmly here in Chihuahua.
Right. So if somebody wants to volunteer, maybe help you with future trails, that kind of stuff, and just be part of it, but they can't make it tomorrow, is Facebook the best place to get in touch with you guys?
Facebook's the great spot. We are up there every Wednesday evening from 5:30, until about 7, doing trail work, and we're up there every Saturday. I want to say 9 o'clock. We've got some signage up there doing trail work. I know last weekend we had 8 people show up to help with the trails, and so the support's been absolutely wonderful, and we're excited.
All right.
We're excited. Good stuff.
Fitness levels, and this is there's options available for all fitness levels, right? This isn't going to be some kind of extreme rock climbing. No. There's going to be some flat level. Yeah.
It's fine for, as Scott so eloquently put it, old guys like us.
I'm going to include myself in that.
All right. Very, very exciting.
Mean fight machine, Chuck.
Out of curiosity, again, while you guys were making these trails, what kind of wildlife did you spot? Because I imagine as you take these walks and stuff, you're going to see some cool stuff.
Certainly there are plenty of deer up there. All sorts of birds. Most of the other large wildlife, they hear you coming and give you a wide berth. I'm sure there are other critters out there. I'm not aware of any confirmed sightings.
Okay.
Just beware and travel at your own risk, right?
Well, yeah, it is the woods around here, so
All right. Barney, did we miss anything you wanted to share about the group or about tomorrow?
I think we've hit the highlights. We are, when we wrap this up, probably going to head over to the Rusty Putter there at the golf course for a little gathering, and people are welcome to join us there too. So I want to thank the team at the golf course for allowing us to descend upon them after we wrap up for a little social hour.
Nice.
Anybody you want to, as we wrap it up, anybody you want to thank? I'm sure you've got a ton of people, but there's some people that really popped to the front of your mind that made some big steps and strides on this.
It has been such a group effort, and the person, and I am new. I've been on the board just over a year, so I've missed a lot of the early stuff, and so I know there are a lot of people that have done amazing things that I'm just simply not aware of. So, the one person that comes to mind, and I think most folks know Jake Wilson from the quartzite. He has been a driving force in this project from the beginning, and Patrick has been right in the midst of it as well. But there are many people I just don't know, and I'm going to shut up now for fear of hurting more feelings than I already have.
I know I hate putting people on the spot like that, but you always want to give them the opportunity, you know. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so for all your volunteers and the people that helped out, we'll give them a big radio round of applause, as well as another big invite between 9 and 11, just north of the golf course. Watch for the signs. It's the Chewilla Valley Land Trust and the new Gold Hill Trail, correct?
You got it. Thank you, Scott.
And a big round of applause for Barney Brockwell for being on the show this morning. And now, Barney, I have a favor to ask you.
Hit me.
Chuck has no one to battle with today over trivia. Are you willing to hang out a couple extra minutes and play trivia with us?
Let's get to go.
Oh.
All right. I get to be embarrassed again.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Today it's Chuck and Barney.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, we'll try to keep it as gentle as I can. I don't think you've ever played trivia with us before, Barney. How many times have you been on the radio? With us? Once?
With you. This is 4 or 5, maybe?
You think it's 4? We're up to 4 or 5? Okay. I figured it was at least twice, but I wasn't quite sure. As I said, I'm one of those old guys. Here we go. Questions for Barney and Chuck. The first one. In a year, the average one of these travels 12,500 miles. In a year, the average one of these will travel 12,500 miles. Your tip is it would be inside of a building.
Elevator.
And I think you guys got a tie there, both elevator, all right? All right, this next one's called the double letter game. I ask a question and the answer is going to be 2 words, each of the 2 words beginning with the same letter. So if I said Walt Disney's biggest star, you would say what, Chuck?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, all right. How about this one? You shout it out as soon as you know it. Mickey's girlfriend.
Minnie Mouse.
I just wanted you both to say that at the same time. Another name for ping pong.
Table tennis.
There you go. Where you'll find the Liberty Bell.
Philadelphia, PA.
Good job, Chuck. We'll give you a round of applause for that one. What Chuck wears on his arms in the pool.
Water wings.
Water wings. All right.
He's got kids. That's not fair.
No, I wear them, Barney.
All right, we'll do this one a little easier. Which came first, the airbag or the breath mint?
The breath mint?
You going to go with airbag, Barney?
No.
No.
I'm wrong.
All right, breath mint 1912, airbag 1952. Liquid paper or a rock climbing wall? Which came first?
I'm going to go with rock climbing wall.
Barney?
I want liquid paper.
Liquid paper. Rock climbing wall 1939. Liquid paper 1950s. So we'll give that one to Chuck.
Okay.
All right. The automatic teller or the Brannock device?
What is the Brannock device?
Nobody knows.
I'm going to go with the Brannock device just for the mystery factor.
Just because?
Yeah, for the mystery of it all.
All right. Barney?
I'm going to go with Chuck there because I actually remember when ATMs came out. So Brannock device, that just sounds old.
Sounds cool, right?
And that was good guesses, guys. The Brannock device is the thing that the shoe salesman puts your foot in to measure your foot.
Oh, see, that sounded like something that James Bond was trying to get back from the villain.
Yes.
Return the Brannock device.
Brannock device was 1928. You'll be surprised at this one. Automatic teller machines, 1969. Wow.
Wow.
Chuck wasn't even born yet.
No.
All right, last one of which came first, the wave at stadiums or diet soda? Which started first?
I'm going to say the wave. I hope it's the wave.
Barney?
I've got to make up ground, so I have to go diet soda.
And Barney steals that one. Diet soda, 1952. The wave at stadiums, 1970. I wouldn't have thought the wave would have been quite that old.
I thought they recovered ancient cave paintings of cavemen doing the wave. No?
No.
Dream that? Okay.
No. It's some waving at the aliens.
Romans at the Colosseum? No.
Yes. All right. Another trivia question. Each of us wears shoes every day, but we never give much thought to the fact that one of their most useful features wasn't invented until 1310. What was that useful feature of a shoe?
Shoelaces.
No, sir.
I'm going to say the sole.
No, sir.
The tongue.
No, sir.
What other part of a shoe is there?
Oh.
One big difference in shoes you guys are missing.
Athletic abilities?
Nope.
Abilities?
Nope. It's so obvious.
I don't know.
The eyelet.
No, even more obvious. Your shoes aren't the same.
Oh, left and right.
There you go, Barney. Left and right. Before 1310, all shoes were interchangeable.
I guess I took that one for granted.
That'd be horribly uncomfortable.
Right?
All right. Not until Herbert Hoover was U.S. president in 1929 did the U.S. chief executive have one of these in his office. What did he have?
Telephone.
There you go, Barney. Good job.
I was going to say typewriter, but...
All right. The following events happened in September of what year? All right, this will be tougher for Chuck. President Ronald Reagan proclaimed the war against drugs. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats opened on Broadway. Disney opened the Epcot Center in Florida. What year was it?
I'm going to go with 1983.
Barney?
I'm going to go 82.
82. Barney gets it again. All right. He is just pummeling you, Chuck.
No, wow.
Right.
Good.
Everybody look at Chuck's face on the camera right now. It's horrible. Sorry, Chuck. All right. A fun one. Would you rather... All right. So would you rather have a photographic memory or the ability to forget anything you wanted?
Forget anything I wanted.
Considering I already forget things I don't want, I'd rather have the photographic memory.
All right. 78% chose photographic memory. 22% chose to forget.
Ignorance is bliss.
That's right. Would you rather have a superpower of your choice, but only be able to use it once a day for 10 minutes, or have a random superpower every day and able to use it all day long?
Oh, give me the rando.
Random power. All right. Random superpower, 24 hours. Chuck?
I think the 10-minute one you could really hone and figure it out and use in your favor.
All right. Most people agreed with Chuck, 56% to 44%. Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or be able to fly for 1 hour a day?
Teleport.
Teleport, definitely.
92% would like to teleport.
That would save you so much in gas.
All right. Spy the lie here. More men than women sleep in the nude. Average lifespan of a Major League Baseball is 40 pitches. Americans throw away about 2 billion razors a year. Which one's the lie?
I'm going to go with the more... I think more women sleep in the nude than men.
I'm going to agree.
You guys are two of the most hopeful men I know.
At least I hope, right?
That is actually true. More men than women sleep in the nude. Our lie was the baseball. A Major League Baseball only gets 7 pitches before it's replaced. That's not very many at all.
Oh, I heard the question wrong. I thought it was pitches per game.
Oh.
I was trying to do some quick math, but... nine innings time. Yeah, well, I guess that'll be a lot more than 30. Yeah.
All right, we're going to let Barney run with this one, and it's a little more fun. You don't have to use your brain power. It's called Answer Wrong and Win. So I'm looking for a stupid answer. We're going to start with Chuck. Chuck, how many lanes will you find on a 4-lane highway?
63.
Which one's the fast lane?
4.
4. All right. Barney, name something a competitive swimmer might wear.
Water wings.
Chuck, name something you'd take with you when you go camping.
Oh, goodness gracious. My cat.
Strangely enough, I actually do that. Barney, what U.S. state is known for Disney World, the Miami Dolphins, and a lot of old people?
Jersey.
And the last one going to Chuck. Chuck, name a 2-wheeled recreational vehicle.
That would be my house.
Or a lopsided RV.
A golf cart.
All right. All right. Once again, big thank you for Barney Brockwell for playing trivia with Chuck and showing up this morning. Barney, you can catch up with Barney at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, just north of the golf course on Sand Canyon. And it's the grand opening of the Gold Hill Trails. Right, Barney?
You got it. Thanks so much, Scott.
Right,
thanks, Chuck.
You bet. Yeah. Anytime you come back and see us again, Barney. There you go. Big round of applause, Barney Brockwell. And me and Chuck are going to wrap up this Friday with this.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, here me and Chuck go with the news attack. First part real, second part totally made up bad joke. And Chuck, will you kick us off on the news attack?
Yeah. So according to a study, 35% of designated drivers had something to drink. Ooh. The study found that kind of defeats the purpose.
Uh-huh.
The study found that they were in no position to drive, but were chosen by their friends simply because they were the only ones still capable of correctly pronouncing the word designated.
I can do it. Research found that men don't mature until they're 43. Finally, a valid excuse from my Star Wars collection.
Is that why my wife still checks every time I brush my teeth at night?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's sad. All right, take us to Louisiana, Chuck.
Louisiana lawmakers have passed a bill that would prohibit minors from creating their own social media accounts without parental consent. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for parents, though. Hey, Mom, can I post this selfie? No, sweetie, I think you need a permit for that.
Mm-hmm. Also, finally, parents will know what their kids are up to online. Wait, Timmy just tweeted a photo of broccoli. Put that under things that won't happen. All right, survey found Americans prefer their burgers well done. Most popular topping, cheese. Cheese, you hear that? Ketchup is the most popular condiment, and free is the most popular price point.
Can you call it a burger without cheese? I mean, I guess it's a burger, not a cheeseburger, but
no,
why?
At that point, it's a meat sandwich.
What's the point?
Yeah.
It's like the yin without the yang.
That's right.
The latest research reveals that the happiest people took a 30-minute nap every day. Yeah. They say the best time to take it is when someone in your office is going around to everybody to get donations for somebody's birthday present.
Sorry, I'm napping. Survey found that more people than expected experienced notable skin reactions from their tattoos. That's strange. You wouldn't think that piercing your flesh with an electric needle and permanently staining your skin with a foreign liquid would be so problematic.
Who knew?
Or itchy. All right.
Right?
On to the world of wacky but true. All these stories totally true. The only thing we add to them is a movie clip. All right, Chuck, you're up again.
Yeah, firefighters in Scotland used a vacuum cleaner with a sock on one end of the nozzle to rescue a 6-hour-old kitten which had become trapped down a home's drain. It's thought the kitten's mother had climbed behind the kitchen sink to give birth. Rescuers used a camera to locate the kitten before using the vacuum cleaner to pull it to safety. Oh,
That was scared for the kitten.
That
That cat is going to be scared of vacuums for life. But it was.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
A brilliant idea.
Yes.
That's what we need, a brilliant idea.
Yes. All right, another one. When someone threw a brick through a window in Ocala, Florida, into an infant's bedroom, knocking the child's bassinet to the floor, police quickly found a suspect, Daniel Robert Dinkins. 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 He allegedly told officers he threw the brick because he was a time traveler who needed to save them from an event that's going to occur in the future. While he said he didn't know a baby was in the room, he somehow did know that he had to save the baby from something way in the future when the child is much, much older. Dinkins was properly arrested. And
Dinkins, you're fired.
You're fired. I have this on him.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Ooh, he was on the right track.
In the UK, garbage men refused to empty a disabled senior citizen's carefully sorted recycled waste because it was contaminated by stray tea bag. Aww. They left the oldster flabbergasted after leaving a note saying his trash bin would not be unloaded as it contained food waste. He complained to a town councilman but was told he should not have left food in the bin.
Instead of being thrown away, they're collected, refurbished. He calls it re-bicycling, something like that.
It's called recycling.
All right, more bear stories. We've had one, I think, each day this week. This bear spotted by workers at a Publix supermarket in Naples, Florida. Bear was seen up close and personal at the very front entrance of the automatic doors, but didn't enter when they opened. That's kind of safe. All right,
Do you know she went shopping?
Oh, shopping? That's it. Something tells me she's going to come through that door in a brand new outfit.
You know what the bear was in the store for?
What?
Just the bare necessities.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Oh, you're pure evil, Chuck. Pure evil.
2 people have been arrested and charged with robbery after assaulting and attempting to rob employees at a Wendy's restaurant in Toledo, Ohio. The incident occurred when the man and woman entered the restaurant after a drive-through order for a crispy chicken sandwich without cheese was not fulfilled. The 2 suspects reportedly became agitated and began throwing items at employees, including Frosties and a cookie display. Wow. A pregnant employee was injured in the altercation. Employees were able to remove the suspects from the restaurant and take photos of them and their vehicle.
Oh, I like it. They stood up to him. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
What drew them toward this place of mystery? Hunger? Desperation? Or perhaps it was love of adventure?
You still hungry, big guy? Well, say hello to my little friends.
I will say a chicken sandwich is allowable without cheese. I'll
Yeah, I wouldn't put cheese on your chicken sandwich. No.
No, that's acceptable. Like, except for maybe a nice pepper jack or something. Ooh, that's good.
I don't know. I think those Wendy's employees, though, they're super strong.
You still hungry, big guy? Well, say hello to my little friends.
All right. According to Welcome County, West Virginia Sheriff's Office, Franklin Darby was heckling an umpire at a Little League baseball game. When the umpire removed his gear and left the field, Darby followed, screaming and cursing at him. Then, according to police, Darby pulled a knife and told the umpire, "I'll gut you right here." Darby left the scene before police arrived. He was later charged, though, with brandishing a deadly weapon and an assault on an athletic official. I didn't know that was a crime.
Does an athletic official carry a higher sentence? Or what?
I think so. There's a similar law for going across a bar for a bartender. So,
There he goes, old blood and guts.
Yeah, our blood. His guts.
Doesn't sound good at all. And let's wrap it up. It is the last day of school. How about a graduation ceremony?
For its commencement ceremony this year, Rich Township, Illinois High School handed out stoles to its graduate. And except instead of the word graduate on each stole, the word read graduate.
Oh, look at you. Congratulations. You're a graduate.
Graduated. Sorry.
I just graduated.
Oh, the mistake went unnoticed until the sashes were distributed and the graduates had already walked the stage. Wow. The school said it would send students corrected stoles and have the typo edited out of the graduation photographs.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I want to keep that in my photograph, really.
That reminds me of my graduation from JHS.
D+. Oh, my God. I passed.
I passed! Oh, man! I got a D+! I'm gonna graduate!
And congratulations to all of our D+ graduates. There you go.
That was me in a couple of my classes my senior year.
I passed. All right. Big weekend. Yes? Big weekend. All right. Lots of stuff going on. You got a lighting class going on at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts. We've got the grand opening of the Gold Hills Trail we just talked to Barney Brockwell about. We got a cornhole tournament for the Lions Club. All that going on tomorrow. Let's see. We have a parking lot sale, yard sale at the Methodist Church. So much happening. So plenty of stuff to get out and do tomorrow.
Fundraiser tonight at the theater at 6. Yep.
Tonight at 6 at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts, your chance to go out and support Gino and his wife Sharon and that fundraiser. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Did I miss anything, Chuck? I don't think so, but I closed my calendar. All right. Other than that, we want you to have a great weekend. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio, and hopefully they'll have our power up shortly up at the tower. We leave you with this.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.
Press the button, Chuck.
The audio cut out. I couldn't hear it. Here we go. Goodbye, everybody.
Let them eat static.
Wow! 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 All I can say is wow!
Wait. Yes? A brilliant idea.
Yes!
That's what we need, a brilliant idea.
Go, go!
D+. Oh, my God. I passed.
I passed! Oh, man! I got a D+! I'm gonna graduate!